What's going on, guys? Today we're at another GMC dealership and we're going to walk around and take a look at these Canyons. These Canyons are not cheap by any means. You know, they're mid-sized trucks, but they're a little pricey, especially depending on options. But we're going to take around and look at some of the prices. So this one right here is an Elevation. Okay, so a Canyon Elevation. It's a 2025. The MSRP is 42,000. And after all of the add-ons, $45,000. Okay. Do you get a bed liner? Nope, you do not get a bed liner. What about this one? Yeah, you get a bed liner on this one, but this one, well, I thought it looked stripped down. No, it doesn't look stripped down. It's also an Elevation. Okay, so that's one of the things I look at when it comes down to pickups. I always check to see if they have a bed liner, but I imagine the people that they sell these things to, they don't plan on hauling anything anyway, so I guess they couldn't care less if it has a bed liner or not. But let's take a look at this price. All right, so this is a 2025 Canyon two-wheel drive Elevation crew cab. Total price is $45,000 after all of their add-ons. So you guys let me know if you would take this Canyon over something like a Frontier or a Tacoma. You're getting a 2.7 liter Turbo Max with an 8-speed automatic, and pretty much it's pushing $50,000. Do you get a bed liner? No, you do not. And like I said, I guess people, well, I guess some of them, the ones that purchase these vehicles, they're not going to haul anything anyway. But it's still a nice touch when they just throw in a bed liner anyway, because they're charging you so much money for these vehicles and you're not getting a bed liner. It would just be nice to have that as extra, if they just threw it in. Because I looked at some other brands and all of their vehicles came with bed liners, like the Ridge line, for example. Of course, this doesn't compete with the Ridge line, but I'm just saying it's nice that other manufacturers, they just throw in a bed liner. Even if you're not going to use the bed, they just give it to you anyway. It would be nice if these trucks did the same thing, because you're paying almost $50,000. In some cases, these go well beyond $50,000, and you won't even get a bed liner in them. This right here has to be a mistake. All right, so I'm gonna show you what I mean. They're saying total vehicle price 42. Well, first of all, they're saying standard vehicle price 38, total vehicle price 42. But right here, they're saying 28,000. If this is really 28,000, this is the cheapest Colorado I ever looked at. So I don't know what's going on here. I'm not sure if that's a mistake, but if so, this isn't going to be on the lot very long. And it's also an Elevation too, so that has to be some kind of mistake that they made. Because if we look at this one is saying 50,000, and it's also a 2025, and it's an Elevation just like the other one we looked at. Total vehicle price 47, total value 50. Yeah, so that $28,000 got to be a mistake that we just looked at. There's no way. There's no way. If this one's only $28,000, it's not going to last 3 days. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I see a lot of cyber trucks in my area. You really can't get on the road without seeing a cyber truck. Now, as far as these new Hummers that they brought back, that's a different story. They've been rebranded as GMC's Hummer EV. Yeah, these are a different story. I think I've seen maybe one or maybe two since they've been on sale. Cybertrucks I see all the time, but these, I don't see many of them. Okay, like I said, maybe two at most. I see a lot of the other EVs like the ZDX, like I said, the Cybertruck, the Rivians. I see those all the time, but these. So I don't know how long these are going to be in production, but you see the price right there, 103. And I spoke to the gentleman that work at the dealership on the inside, and he told me that they actually come up to way more than 103 once it's all said and done. So it'll be more like 110 or something like that. Now, as with all EVs, these things are super heavy, super heavy. These things weigh, okay, the SUV version weighs about 9,000 pounds. And the pickup version, if I see a pickup, I'll show it to you. But this is an SUV. I don't see the pickup yet, but we'll walk around a lot and see if they have any. The pickup version weighs almost 10,000 pounds, if you guys can believe that. So this one right here weighs 9,000 pounds, and the pickup version weighs almost 10,000. I think they say 96 or 9,700, because it's reinforced and I guess it has larger batteries. So yeah, these EVs, well, I mean EVs in general, because of the battery, they're very heavy, but yeah, this thing's especially heavy. I would hate to get my foot ran over by one of these because it's going to crush your foot without a doubt. That's how heavy these things are. Okay, but despite their heft and weight, they're still quick. So that's one of the pros about EVs. They're always going to be quick in most cases. Okay, in most cases, but they're just very heavy vehicles. So I would hate to get hit by one of these or get my foot run over by one of these. Here we have another Hummer EV, and this is the SUV version. Let's take a look at the price and see what they're talking. 2026 Hummer EV, 2X SUV. Okay, 102, so about the same as the other ones. I like the color. The color does stand out. So you guys let me know what you think about the Hummer EV. Do you think there are better EV options out there, or would you buy the Hummer EV just based on nostalgia? I do like the way they look. Yeah, I like the way they look, but I don't think they're selling as well as they anticipated because I don't see many in my area at all. Even these new Sierra EVs, have yet to see one on the road in my area. You guys let me know if that's the same where you live, but I have yet to see one of these on the road. They do look good, okay? They look sharp. They still have that typical Sierra design language. So yeah, they definitely look unique. These are quite heavy too, just like with any other EV. Not sure how much these weigh. I have to look that up. But I know that Hummer weighs almost 10,000 pounds. These are probably similar though. Probably similar in terms of weight. All right, so you see the price. And they give you a bed liner in these. How ironic, right? All right, guys, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to take a look at these EVs and see how much they're asking for them, and also the Colorados. So you let me know what you think about these prices in general. Do you think they're too much? Do you think they should come down? And what do you think about the price of the Colorado? Would you take a Colorado over a Frontier or a Tacoma? Can't wait to hear your comments. You guys take care of yourselves.